What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Niners Lounge Super Bowl edition, Super Bowl week, man. I can't believe it's Thursday as we are recording this. We're just 3 days away from Super Bowl 58 from Allegiant Stadium, Las Vegas, Nevada, San Francisco 49ers versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Right off the bat, gentlemen, we have a full house here tonight. Patrick Willis is the newest, one of the many newest inductees in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Massive clap to that man, the highest graded linebacker in Pro Football Focus history. If anyone believes that stuff, I mean, I don't necessarily, but nonetheless, finally, after so long, P. Will's go into the Hall of Fame. So, what a cool little tidbit there before the Niners shoot for their sixth title. And speaking of that, Ron, Mav, Mike, Super Bowl Sunday, man, it's here, and we have a lot to talk about, to digest this, to review, give our predictions. Ron, where are you at right now? I guess to start things off, I don't want to start off with the positives right away. What is worrying you about this game heading into Sunday?
What isn't worrying me? I think it's a better question. I mean, I'm trying to stay away from the headlines. I'm trying to stay away from social media. And there's just a bunch of shenanigans everywhere I look with field issues. And I don't know, I got all kinds of nerves right now, gentlemen. I don't know how you're feeling, but we're 3 sleeps away.
Yeah.
And, I know I'm just hoping we get that W on Sunday for sure. Right now, to be honest with you, I've kind of kept it low. I haven't wanted to, get too involved. I watched some of the activities on Monday. Those were awesome, right? The opening activities, some of the interviews. I had a blast watching those. But other than that, I don't know, man. I'm pretty nervous. Specifically when it comes to the game. I'm worried about a slow start, but my gut's telling me that we're going to come out punching. I think we're really pissed off right now. I know from what I have been able to read, it seems like we're taking the high road with that field situation. But Mayoko's reporting that the team's pretty upset about it. So hopefully that's got the boys fired up and we're ready to come out swinging.
Yeah, I mean, with this whole field gate, as it's been dubbed, the only thing that it should be talked about at all is it's just got to be a motivational tool. They can't change anything. The league provided them options on what else they can do if they chose. The Niners and Shanahan, they chose to stay where they are, and I think they're using it as a motivational tool. Personally, I don't think you need any motivation to play in the Super Bowl. But look, nonetheless. I think Mike might have said it in our group. Like, if this was last year, the Niners would have been in the same spot as the Kansas City Chiefs right now. And another team would have been in the UNLV field. So, unfortunately, it's just, the way things have fallen. I think if anything, it's an embarrassment to the NFL and how this is you're one of the biggest sports in the world, maybe the second biggest sport in the world besides soccer. This is your biggest event of the year, and this is the kind of thing that makes them look real cheap. It makes them look poor, because these are the two best teams in the world playing for the Super Bowl. I think that the only thing that's fair is that everyone's on equal playing ground here. I think it's unfair with the situation that's been dealt to the Niners, but what are you going to do? You got to make the best of it. 3 of the days that they're even on that field are just walkthroughs. I mean, it looks like, today, I'm not sure where they practiced today, but I think there was a point today where they did get the practice inside. But, nonetheless, I think it's a motivational thing for this team, and that's how it should be. If that's the way they want to look at it, that's fine. But Mike, you're usually the most positive person on this team that I've ever spoken to in my life, which is phenomenal because it sometimes puts me in my place. So where are you at in terms of your feelings right now as we're on Thursday? Um, has any of your confidence shifted at all?
No, actually, it's weird. So last time we were in the Super Bowl, about right now, my nerves would start kicking in. But there is this just calmness and gut feeling that we've got it. I mean, a couple days I might start being a little nervous, but I just think this is a team of destiny. The way they won that NFC Championship just proved that to me, and I think they got it. I think they're going to have the right game plan, and I think they're going to punch Kansas City in the mouth.
Now, Mav, I obviously came on here a couple minutes late, and you guys were already in the middle of a discussion, and I didn't really catch everything you were saying. Other than I'm assuming you were. I mean, I'm personally not gonna bring it up, but you guys can. I'm not gonna talk about the Cam Newton comments because I think Cam Newton's probably one of the most overrated players in the history of football. But where's your feeling right now, man? You're one of those guys, and I give you credit. I always give you credit when credit's due. You have been in lockstep since week one. You said you're not going to get super high on this team, and you're not going to go crazy right now until they raise that trophy. And you have been steadfast about that. You were steadfast against Steve Wilkes since day one. You've been steadfast about the point of you're not going to get too high and you're not going to get too low. As we get 3 days before the Super Bowl, Mav, where are you at? Is there any butterflies in that beautiful tummy of yours?
Not at all. Matter of fact, I'm actually been doing exactly what Ron has been trying to do, and that's not get into any kind of reports, read anything, follow any news. Like tonight was the first day that I even listened to 5 minutes of anything 49ers. And I've just been sitting back waiting, you know. As a kid growing up for the longest, we were undefeated in the Super Bowl. We were like the Bulls of the NFL until we went with Harbaugh, tarnished our record. It's okay, one loss is no problem, but we go back another loss.
Yeah,
I just can't keep getting excited over a regular season that I know we can control and make it to the big game. Now, the ultimate goal is to win that trophy. So, no, I'm still on it. I'm standing 10 toes down to the very last whistle.
And I'll tell you what, I am the complete polar opposite. I have not slept in about 3 days. The next couple of days are going to be probably even worse. But notwithstanding, let's kind of talk about the game itself. 6:30 Eastern time kickoff on Sunday. I want to start with what worries us about the Kansas City Chiefs. And I'm just going to throw it out there. I'm going to start with what everyone likes to discuss as defense. This is by far the best defense of the Mahomes era. I mean, this team was second in the NFL in sacks. They were second in the league in points per game allowed, second in total yards per game allowed, under 300, third in the opponent's punt percentage, and fourth in the league in yards per game, passing yards per game allowed. So, and this is a defense that gets after the quarterback. And this is an offense with the 49ers that has not been very good at protecting Brock Purdy over the last few weeks. This is my only concern. The Patrick Mahomes didn't beat the Baltimore Ravens. That Kansas City defense just ran them into the ground, the Ravens. And that's the part that is really messing with my brain right now is that Chiefs defense, because is this defense going to cause us to see Brock Purdy versus the Ravens, or is this going to be one of those games where we can see Purdy rise up and have like an Eagles against the Eagles type game? That's my conundrum right now, gentlemen, is this Chiefs defense is good. They're missing pieces. I get that. But they seem to be a well-oiled machine right now. Spags is a great defensive head coach, a defensive coordinator. So, Ron, I'm going to start with you. From a defensive aspect of the Chiefs, does that defense worry you at all?
It does. That's exactly where I was going to go with Spags. I think he's one of the most underrated coaches in the league. If you look back to his resume, he has a resume with the Giants beating Brady twice. And his defense has obviously shown up in big games, and he's got the schemes. He's just clutch. It seems like he calls the right scheme when it matters. And he seems to just have his defenses show up in big games. So he calls a good defensive plan. And then, I think that you're right. I think their defense looks a lot better this year. They swarm to the ball a lot better. Their secondary looks really good.
Yeah.
They shift well. They don't get confused with with our shifting. They seem to communicate really good. They tackle well. From a defensive perspective, I am concerned. I'm concerned with Chris Jones as well. Yeah. I want to see how he matches up because I believe we're starting Feliciano, who I'm just going to take the time to highlight. He's been playing good down the stretch. It looks like Burford's been benched. That's a matchup that I'm going to want to watch.
Yep.
And then, how Chris Jones is swatting these balls down.
Yep.
So,
interesting about Chris Jones, and I just found this out today, actually, and I meant to put it in the group, but I guess it's good that we're saving it now. In 4 Super Bowl games, he has no sacks and no quarterback hits. So how wild is that? Like, when I saw that stat, I thought that's got to be impossible, but it is. And I went back and looked at those Super Bowls, and it's true. So that's still, again, you never know when that guy, like you said, you never know when he's just going to pop off. And it is going to be very, very interesting to see that matchup. Mike, how about you from a Chiefs defensive standpoint? Where are you at?
The secondary scares me, but they are trash at defending the run. This is going to be a Christian McCaffrey game.
No, it better be. I've been saying it for 19 weeks.
I'm calling it now. He's going to be the Super Bowl MVP. We're going to win on Sunday, and Christian McCaffrey is going to be your MVP. Yeah, he is going to run all over this Chiefs defense.
Boy, God, I hope so. Mav, you're a defensive guy. Where are you at on the Chiefs defense against the Niners?
I mean, honestly, I'm surprised with the Chiefs, period, this whole season. I believe everybody counted them out. Well, mostly everybody counted them out after they started losing and the way they were looking. It looked like they had no kind of offensive weapon. And just out of nowhere, that defense just started coming out. I mean, it's almost as if, like, I can't really say it's like the 49ers defense have been in the past, but it's almost like they get ready for an actual team per team basis.
Yeah.
That stat you just threw out there, Chris Jones not getting any kind of pressure, tackles, or anything, and 4 Super Bowls, I mean, that's wild. But at the same time, if you're a team that's getting ready for Chris Jones and you got him locked down, that means you got like 1 or 2 other guys that's coming in there that's eating all day. So, I mean, my only concern for this whole game is Kyle calling a good game and not getting in his way and not getting stressed.
I mean, that's interesting. I mean, we'll definitely get to that point as well. All right, so let's switch the side of the ball here. Let's talk about the Chiefs offense. And then, of course, carrying on that is the Niners defense. It's clear we know the weaknesses of the 49ers defense. We have talked about this, what seems to be like my entire adult life. That's how much stress this year has put on me. And the secondary is an issue. And of course, the Niners against the run has been an issue. So, you got Pacheco. How's that going to be? How are they going to do against? I know Mike was confident about it last week. We talked about this. How are they going to be against the movement, the mobileness of a Patrick Mahomes who can seemingly elude almost any kind of rush? What about the pass rush? Is Chris Young gonna or Chase Young gonna show up? Nick Bosa just got done having 2 sacks. Is this going to be another phenomenal performance out of Bosa? Armstead's going into this game injured. Hargraves has been really poor against the run. So guys, if we're talking about the Chiefs offense, let's piggyback that with the Niners defense. Where is our confidence level at, guys, right now with Steve Wilkes and this Niners defense?
Hold on. So since you put it that way, I'm gonna go ahead and jump on Young real quick. Chase Young, to me, his matchup is Isaiah Pacheco. That honestly, that's got to be his matchup. Can he stop that run? Can he stop those screens? Because it seems to me that's the problem that we have with Chase Young, right? The run, he can't stop it like he can. Hargraves, also the same issue.
Yeah, Hargraves had that issue in Philly as well because, he's a wide boy, but he's also not the biggest in terms of like height, so he can get bumped around a little bit against the run. Look, Chase Young's a freak. A freak athlete. Yes, Pacheco, him going up against the run there, that's gonna be a big deal. But man, I would that's what's that? The Chase Young with the blind side of Patrick Mahomes, right? Yeah. I would love to see some quarterback hits from Chase Young on Patty Mahomes and get him flustered a little bit to take some heat off of Nick Bosa. But you are right. My biggest worry is, as I think the Chiefs' biggest concern should be Christian McCaffrey, I think the Niners' biggest concern right now has to be the run game because they're not stopping it.
Are the Chiefs good in the run? I thought Isaiah Pacheco averaged like 0.25 yards per carry.
He's not really a runner.
So he
just runs in place.
Yeah,
in the playoffs.
He had 25
he bites
carries
people when he runs
2 weeks ago. Yeah, he averaged 3 yards a carry against a really good run defensive Baltimore Ravens team.
So which defense are we talking about? Are we talking about the first half defense or are we talking about the second half defense? Because those are two completely different.
But that's the defenses. Thing. Which one do you think is showing up? You get one more game at this. You get one more shot. That's the thing.
I'd have to say
Isaiah's not really a head-on runner. He's more of a catch-and-run type of guy. If you ever watch this game and paid attention, even me having him on my fantasy, most of my points come from more of receiving. He gets every now and then good bursts, but he hasn't been that guy this season of that run, really.
Mm-hmm.
You would draft Isaiah Pacheco, Drew.
I did. I'm not even gonna lie. I lost. Man, go ahead and say something, Mike. I know you got something to say. Mike.
I will say,
Drew.
Pacheco was really close to 1,000 yards rushing this year and averaged just under 5 yards a carry. So he was running the ball very well up into the playoffs. So it's not it doesn't matter what he does. This is a Niners defense that's going to have to not only focus on the number one focus has to be Travis Kelce. And then after that, you got to figure out a way now. What are you going to do between Mahomes, who can run, and Pacheco, who can run? I'm not worried about the Kansas City. I should be because the Niners secondary isn't good. But I'm not necessarily worried about, Rashee Rice. He had 8 catches at 5 yards a pop against the Ravens. Valdez-Scantling, I'm not worried about. This is what I'm worried about, the run. That's for some reason.
You know what? I'm worried about. You know what? Let me just segue for one quick second. You asked me if anything changed, if I'm worried about anything. If I'm gonna worry about anything besides Kyle, it'll have to be Jake Moody.
So we're going from the kicker to the defense. We're going defense to kicker now.
Yeah, that would be my only concern. Can he make a kick when we need it? Can he get us over that hump?
I agree. I think that's also a question to ask to get in the head of Shanahan, because I feel like Shanahan might do whatever he can in this football game to make sure it doesn't rest on the shoulders of his rookie kicker. So that's where his threat. Go ahead, Ron.
All right. So before we just bounce off anywhere, let's just get back to the defense because
Yeah, please.
I mean, can we get some substance here? Can we get some actual specifics? We're concerned about the run. How do we stop it?
I
Do we
think
put 5 guys on the line? Who do we put in there? How do we stop it? It's not so much,
I think honestly,
it's how do we
I
do
think
it?
they focused on. I think they focused on it this week. Like I think that was one of the main focuses that.
I think we lost Drew.
Yeah, I think we did too.
But I think they.
So how do we see this playing out?
Yeah. You're right. I do feel that over the last couple weeks here, in terms of tape or even through walkthroughs, Drew, is that you got to focus on stopping the run, because if you can stop the run, and you got to force Mahomes back in that pocket 40 times or more, which he's very capable of them doing to him. Then look, that's where your pass rush comes in, and you got to knock him on his ass a few times. But you're right, Ron. Is how do you stop this run game?
Can you really stop the KC run game when you got Patrick Mahomes who can take off as well?
I agree. That's the problem.
That's what I was saying. I think to be honest with you, I'm not too concerned about Pacheco. I was concerned about the Lions' speed. The Lions running backs, and they're fast.
Yeah.
And Pacheco doesn't strike me. Pacheco doesn't scare. His speed doesn't scare me. I feel like we can contain him. Patrick Mahomes scrambling is part of the Chiefs' run game. I'm more concerned with that on third downs, and how are we going to contain that versus Pacheco in the box?
Yeah,
that right there, as a running back, if you overlook me, I'm taking advantage of it. You're more concerned about my quarterback running versus me actually doing the job that I was hired for.
I mean, that's how the Chiefs beat the Bills. Pacheco had 100 yards on 15 carries and a touchdown. Everyone thought the focus was on Mahomes. He threw 23 pass attempts. Kelsey had 5 catches. So it's
Drew. He was on your fantasy team. Who did Pacheco run all over this year? Did he have 100+ yards against anybody this year? Is he known for running over teams?
I mean,
he said no, right? He's a catcher.
The man finished the season with 935 yards.
But I'm saying his games is not really you're not going to say, okay, he's an excellent. You can't say he's an excellent running back. Something like you said to have any fear of.
Yeah.
How you a catcher when you finish the season with 935 rushing yards? How does that make you a catcher?
Huh?
He caught 44 passes 3 times over 100 yards this year.
You said 3 catches?
3 times over 100 yards this year against Cincinnati. 18 for 130, Green Bay 18 for 110, and against the Jets 20 for 115.
Yeah.
So am I not giving Pacheco his flowers? Is he better than what I'm making him out to be? Then is he that bigger of a threat?
It's not flout. I think he's a threat because he's somebody else that can move on that offense. That's the thing. He averaged 5 yards a carry as a running back this year. I mean, that's really good. So that's my worry is, sure, you don't game plan for Pacheco. You game plan for the entire running game as a whole, because he's just another element in what works for that offense, because they don't have Tyreek Hill anymore. The Niners have to choose, are we going to hope that this line can get to the running backs so we can cover Travis Kelce, because Kelsey's the problem, because he's going to draw Greenlaw, he's going to draw Warner away from the run game. So this is where my fear is because Pacheco's not a bad runner. He's not Christian McCaffrey. He's not that kind of guy, but he can kill you. I mean, he can do stuff to hurt you. And on top of the quarterback. Yeah, I mean, they don't.
Yeah, but if I'm a D coordinator, I'm pretty good with Dre and Warner containing him. I like that matchup there against Pacheco. My issue is Kelce.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's where the issue is. If Warner and they're like who's covering Kelsey on passing plays? Like I'm asking Warner to do a lot. He's going to be a guy to look for. Warner's going to be asked to cover Kelsey, and he's going to be asked to help Greenlaw contain Pacheco.
Right.
And then I expect Oren Burks in there as well to help with the run and coverage. I expect a third linebacker in there, like I saw with the Lions. My thing is, I think the Lions had a way better backfield than the Chiefs do.
I agree. But they don't. But the Chiefs had Patrick Mahomes. The Lions had Jared Goff. So it's the only thing you had to worry about necessarily as a whole against the Lions was the run game, because you were able to pretty much contain Jared Goff. Whereas, and I'm not, Mahomes isn't Lamar, and he's not taking off for 60, 70, 80 yards a game. But he's that kind of quarterback where if it's 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, and a big part of the game, he can take off for 10 to 15 yards easily, and that's a backbreaker.
And he's not taking it.
The more I look at it, I'm like, okay, so let me look at my matchups as a D coordinator. Like, I like my matchups with my secondary, even though because their wide receivers aren't stars. I like my secondary against theirs. I'm not too concerned. I like my linebackers. I think the biggest weakness is the defensive line against containing Mahomes on those plays.
I agree with you. I agree.
It's the D line. It has to be the D line is going to. Chase Young and containing his ass.
I agree. The game plan should, to me, when you're playing the Kansas City Chiefs, should always be Mahomes first, Kelsey second. Because that's the thing. I mean, we've already heard multiple teams say, Kelsey really doesn't run routes. He has an idea in his head that he has this unspoken relationship with this, this telepathy with
it's backyard
Mahomes.
Football is what it is.
He runs to a spot, and Mahomes knows he's going to be there somehow. But how do you can't guard against it because you don't know what he's doing, and that to me it's incredible, and it's so damn terrifying to think about that. So I mean, look, Baltimore did okay against Kelsey in that second half. Kelsey had 8 catches in the first half, and I think 3 in the second half. So they figured something out in that second half. So maybe that's some of the tape that the Niners that Wilkes watched is what did the Ravens do in the second half to contain Kelsey there? So here's
another thing. Yeah, and so to that point, here's another question. So, like, what do you do to contain? Kyle is known to defer.
Yeah.
Do you defer still? Do you let the Chiefs start off with the ball?
I would love to start off with the ball and score first.
What do you call it?
Lead. Yeah, I want the lead. I want to get the ball. I want to go down the field, and I want to get the lead. I want to play with the lead. I would love for them to get that ball and go 75 yards on like 10 plays and take up 5 minutes and change, 6 minutes and change, and put 7 on the board. And get Mahomes sitting there on the sideline thinking, like just sitting there watching. I mean, nothing phases him, but I'm just saying, like I want the ball,
But you can also kick and defer, and then getting the 3 and out on the first drive is just as huge, and then scoring. I think it's even bigger. So, I mean, do we really feel confident that we kick the ball off, we can get a 3 and out against Mahomes? I think our defense is going to show up, guys. I really do. I think our defense is good. This is the last game of the year. Like Chase Young has to. He knows. I mean, they've asked him numerous times about his effort. It's dude, I expect a big game from that guy. But
yeah, I feel like that the star of that show on Sunday for me defensively. I just like in 2019, he had a great Super Bowl. I think Fred Warner, man, I feel like as always in these postseasons, he's been on another level. I mean, he's already broken the Niners franchise record for tackles in the postseason. He already has an interception in the Super Bowl against Patrick Mahomes. So, Mike, how about you, man? Like, you've been quiet. You've heard everyone talk. What are your thoughts on what we've been talking about here?
I agree with Ron about the defense. I think they're going to show up. I think they were done hearing about low effort, and this is the time to show up for them. You got guys that aren't going to be here next year. They got stuff to prove. Chase Young needs to have a game. If that guy
He's
has
playing for his future.
If he's got any chance of getting some contract next year, he's got to show up.
Yep. Yep. I agree.
I think this team is going to fire on all cylinders. This is it. This is the last game that this team is going to be what it is today. We're going to lose guys, and this is destined. They need to get out there, win number 6, and then we can talk about next year. But I think we're going to see the defense show up. I think McCaffrey's going to have a game, and Purdy's just going to have to do what he's got to do. He's going to be Purdy, and I think we're going to see something special on Sunday. And they're going to have a crowd behind them because we know that place is going to be mostly Niner fans.
Yeah. And we know the media is going to be Chiefs fans, so it's going to be hard listening to those broadcasts, man. But, man, Mike, you got me all goosebumps and out, asshole. Now I'm like, I don't even know what to do now. So let's kind of now go to the offense for the Niners, because I also want to bring up, we'll talk later, I want to talk about Shanahan. But let's go the Niners offense. This is it here. And I've talked about this. We talked about it a little bit after the Lions game, where this Niners team, sometimes you don't know what you're getting week to week or even half to half. If you look at that Lions game, this offense has the ability, like they did against the Lions, they can score 30 points with ease whenever they want. And that's an offense that has proven that. I think Brock Purdy is just as valuable and just as important to this team this season as Christian McCaffrey has been. Because other than McCaffrey, someone's got to distribute the ball. Someone's got to get that football out on time. Someone's got to be efficient. Someone's got to be accurate and run that offense. And Brock Purdy has done that more efficiently than any quarterback in the history of the 49ers. I know it's 1 year, but listen, what have you done for me lately? I can only focus on what he's done this year. This offense, this is the time where I really need Kyle Shanahan to be aggressive. Like they say in the Water Boy, if you want to win this game, you can't hold anything back. It's the last game of the year. This is, and we say it every week, guys. We always say it's a Christian McCaffrey game. You gotta limit the amount of times that you have to rely on Brock Purdy to make a big play. This is the kind of game, like Ron said and Mike said, McCaffrey needs 25, 27 carries. He'll probably end up, I'm assuming, maybe 2 or 3 touchdowns. We don't know the health of Kittle. They've already said it's not a turf toe, so he's probably maybe dealing with some broken toes there, but he's going to play, should be okay, but don't know how much he's going to be used in the pass game. But this offense, guys, like, what are you thinking here? How do you think it's going to go? Is this the game where we see a 35-point performance from the offense? Is it a 24-point performance where it's basically like we just said, it's they're running the ball down the Chiefs' throats as often and as much as they can? Mike, I'll start with you. What are you expecting? What do you want to see out of this offense on Sunday?
I want to see them click on all cylinders. Let's see all our playmakers get involved.
Yeah,
I want to see this offense roll like they rolled against the Cowboys, like they rolled against the Eagles. Let's see Debo involved. McCaffrey, like you said, he's got to get 25 plus touches. Let's get a Uke the ball, juice the ball, Kittle the ball. Let's just distribute it. Let Purdy do his thing.
Spread the love.
Yeah,
I agree. Mav, how about you? What do you want to see out of this offense?
I mean, there's nothing else they can really show me that they haven't shown me all year. It's just play your game. Go out there and don't be cute. Don't be trying to do this and that. Just play the 49ers football that you've been playing all year. That's it. And
I agree. And I'm sorry, did I cut you off, Matt?
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
What I really want them to eliminate, and then I'm going to go to Ron here. This is why I want them to have the ball first. I want to stop with these slow starts. These slow starts that they're having on offense, it hurts. I mean, you can see. I mean, even against Detroit, the same thing in the first couple drives. Purdy wasn't sharp. The offensive line wasn't sharp. In the same thing with Green Bay. That's why in the second half they made those adjustments. But I would really like for the 49ers to do what they did the first 8 to 12 games of this regular season, where when they got the ball in that first and second quarter, they were scoring more points in the first and second quarter than any football team ever in the first 10 weeks of the season. It was insane what they were doing to teams before halftime. I just can't. I think I'm selfish because if I have to go into the second half down 10 points, I'm literally going to throw my television through my back door. But that's the thing. I need this team to come out and be like, look, we're the San Francisco 49ers. We're the number one offense in this league, and we're going to shove this down your throat right off the bat. You're going to have to come back and beat us.
Chris, do you own any kind of handcuffs?
Handcuffs?
Or rope, anything of sort that can restrain you?
I have. Yeah, yes.
Okay, so you might want to be restrained, confined to a chair on Sunday.
If
keep
I
you
could
from
record
your property.
Dude,
don't be
man,
a Cowboys fan.
No. I would never. The thing is, I'm going to tell you I'm going to break my television, but the thing is, right away, I'm like, I got to go buy another one. So I ain't doing that.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I might break some remotes. I mean, I can get those off of Amazon for $5, but I ain't breaking no television.
I'm not breaking that.
But that's the thing, Ron. How about you, man? Offensively, what do you want to see?
You know what I want? Here's what I want to see. I want to see a Christian McCaffrey 4 rushing touchdown Super Bowl.
Give me all. I'll take that, please. Give me all.
Dude, I want to see a Raheem Mostert type performance against Green Bay in the NFC Championship. I don't know. Shanny Monday looked buzzed, and I loved it because it told me Shanny has something up his sleeve, and he knows something we don't know. And if you ask me, I think Shanny knows that the fucking excuse my language. The Chiefs can't stop the run game. So I'm with Mike. I'm hoping that we get a lot of jumbo 21 personnel and we just straight gash them.
Yeah,
that's what I want to see. I don't want to see Purdy drop back 46 times in the Super Bowl and sling it against a good secondary when we got when we have a mismatch in the run game, the last game of the year. That's what I want to see.
I'm with you. All right, so let's kind of start breaking this thing down now, and I want to do kind of like what I always do with you guys when we're talking about and previewing a game before we get right to our predictions. I'm going to go to you guys. We're going to do the Niners win if, the Niners lose if. So I'm going to start with Mike. Mike, the Niners lose if what?
They don't play Niner ball.
Okay. Ron, the Niners lose if.
I'm going to have to agree with Mike if Kyle Shanahan doesn't do what we do best and play Niner football.
Mav, the Niners lose if.
Hey, my answer has been the same all year long. Kyle.
So I agree. I think for the first time all year, all four of us agree on one singular thing. If he all of a sudden starts panicking, and he as in Kyle Shanahan, pronouns, pal. If he panics and he starts making that quarterback drop back 35, 40 times, then I know for a fact that again, the big game and the Super Bowl just got to our head coach. And that's another issue. It's not something I foresee, but I'm just saying, there's things always happen and you just never know what the game plan is until we watch the game. So yeah, I think the Niners lose if Kyle Shanahan goes against Niner football. And I agree. Mike, the 49ers win if
We run the ball.
Ron, the Niners win if
We contain Patrick Mahomes.
Amen. Mav, the Niners win if
Again, Kyle Shanahan, get out of his own way and just play the game.
um,
I'm
You know what?
sticking to it.
I can't wait for us to win on Sunday. And just like Ron got swayed into being a Shanny fan, Mav is going to become a Shanny fan.
Hey,
I got swayed into being a what fan?
A Shanny
a
fan.
Shanny fan.
Oh yeah, I love Shanny, bro. I'm sorry, I do. I love. Hey, I used to hate Shanny, but no, dude. Hey, man, I was wrong about Shanny. I'm sorry, like for reals. Shanny's a G. I like Shanny, bro.
Listen,
Sorry, Shanny. I was wrong.
I promise you, we win the Super Bowl. I have no issues going forward because I have lived to see one.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure you were alive in 1990.
Yeah, you were alive in '94, man.
Dude, I was like
He was a Dolphins fan back then, though. So
yeah, no, actually, yeah, you know that.
he was a Dolphins fan.
He still is.
Back then and now.
I didn't become a Niners fan until '94.
Mike, I had to mute myself because I was like bear laughing there when I heard Mike peek in. He's still a Dolphins fan.
But like I said before, the Dolphins introduced me to football. Like I didn't know anything about football coming from another country, and all of a sudden I'm seeing guys like Dan Marino all on TV, and my whole community of where I live is surrounded by Dolphins and Hurricanes. Like down south, at that time, I don't think you've seen any other team besides whatever team was from Miami at that point. When I moved to Tampa,
man, it was all Hurricanes, man. It was Miami Hurricanes.
Yeah, Dolphins and Hurricanes. That's all you saw down there. And then Pat Riley came along with the Heat and everything. I was like, okay, that's what's up. But it wasn't until I moved to Tampa I got exposed to the NFL, to the game and stuff. And that's when I became a Niners fan. So by the time I was watching that Super Bowl, it was kind of like, but actually, I really didn't even get to see that Super Bowl because cable TV and nobody's really talking about it. I'm still a kid. All I know is I'm a Niners fan.
Yeah,
we got 5 rings and we never lost.
For me, the Niners win if, and at first I was saying if they run the ball, but I'm gonna go with Ron. The Niners win as if you can force Patrick Mahomes to make the same mistakes he's made throughout the entire season. If you can get him to turn the ball over, if you can put some hits on him, if you can settle down Patrick Mahomes, this could be a blowout win.
Ron, I think Drew's in backstage.
Is he? Yeah, I see him.
Sorry.
It's all right.
Go ahead.
All right, so that's my Niners win. If Drew, if you can hear me, and if you have a chance to talk, we just did the Niners will win if, the Niners will lose if. So I'll do the same questions to you. The Niners will lose if what?
If we underestimate this run game, or if we overestimate the run game and leave Kelsey open and let Mahomes and Kelsey connection dominate like they have been. I mean, I'm not too worried about the opposite side of the defense. I don't know why. I just haven't seen anything spectacular from Chiefs defense to say I'm too worried about, besides they give credit to Snead. But it's just we will lose if we cannot control the offensive field. We will lose if we come out like we have been with this down play and then trying to jump up second half. Chiefs is not a team that you do this to. We can't come out with the down play and then now let's play catch up from behind because this is a Super Bowl team.
Yeah,
we're not going to underestimate
battle-tested
as a Super Bowl team.
Yep.
I honestly don't believe that it's going to be too far behind for either team. I think it's really going to be a closer game than we all think about. It's going to come down to who has the ball last.
Yeah,
And
but
Patrick Mahomes is the guy that we don't want to have the ball last.
I'm just looking at
I
it
agree.
because this first half between the last two games, we have been playing this let's come from behind and play superhero.
I'm done with that.
We know Chris. We know Chris.
I'm done. I can't do it.
Hey,
That's what it
Chris, do
is.
not have
He
a
done
heart
got
attack
spoiled.
on this Super Bowl. Win or lose, we
Yeah.
need you to come back to the show to scream
It's
about
all right. I'm here.
it.
I will
But we
crawl
can't.
my ass up to this if that happens.
We can't do that though this game, and I
Yeah,
feel
I
like
agree.
if we do, they will take advantage. They will
I
come
agree.
out at halftime without slowing the brakes. They will not pump no brakes. They will just gas up even more. I mean, we've been at a Super Bowl with them before where
Mhm.
we took the lead and we did this and look what happened. So that is the only way we lose is if we outplay ourselves. We win if we can control the defense.
Mhm.
Because our offense, I mean, it's too many weapons to
Yeah.
keep slacking on offense.
I agree.
It's too many weapons that we can use to keep trying to target just one thing. We have a great running back, Christian McCaffrey, who just won Offensive Player of the Year. Ding!
Yep.
And then we
Mm.
we have two great wide receivers. One who's over 1,000 yards for the second
Mhm.
time. Congratulations, BA. And another who's just dominant. Whether they want to call him a running back receiver, he runs y'all over as a receiver.
He
So
is, yeah.
it doesn't matter. We have Kittle who can be a tight end to push out to get open and make these incredible catches.
Mhm.
Jennings has been, I don't know where this is
Some
coming
clutch
from.
catches, man.
Man, these catches have been outrageous. That
Mhm.
one hand and these clutch catches, we
Mhm.
have the
Well, if you
offensive
watched him in
weapons.
college, Drew, you know he's been clutch since Tennessee. So I'm just throwing that out there. That's all. Carry on.
But we have too many weapons on offense to downplay this. Like, we can't pull this off.
Mhm. I'm with you, man.
It doesn't even matter what everybody's saying. Like, I work with two big Chiefs fans and been giving me hell all week. I wore my 49ers stuff, even though I ain't supposed to. I wore my security outfit on with the 49ers hat. And I was like, yo. But
I got a question, y'all.
What's that?
Maybe y'all can help me out since Drew talking about wearing his 49ers gear to work and everything. Now, I didn't get a chance to put in an order for any jerseys this year. So I'm only at two options. My Jerry Rice Niners jersey or the Christian McCaffrey High School jersey. What should I wear come Super Bowl day?
49ers colors. Go with Rice.
What did you wear in 2019?
I didn't wear a jersey.
Don't wear it.
I didn't wear none. I just had the hat. That's it. I just stayed with the hat and the colors.
It's skins, so no shirt and keep the hat on.
Yeah.
Just paint a jersey on, man.
Yeah, just paint it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be rocking the white Warner. So go with Jerry Rice, man. Let's have that.
Mike, you already know what I got. Thanks again, Mike, to the savior. I'm gonna be rocking the white Devo.
You are
beautiful. Beautiful. All right, so let's get to the reason why we're all here, guys. Here's my question: who wins? What's the score? Who's the MVP? I'm gonna start with Drew. Who wins?
Of course, I'm gonna stick on the bias end, but at the same time, I'm gonna be the honest end. We win.
Mm-hmm.
And I say our offense steps it up this game and we step up on the run. I see a nice 38-34.
God. Oh my God.
Sorry, Chris, man. It's gonna be like, hey, Mav makes a point. It's gonna be to the last one, and it's who had that ball last.
Yeah, but you really think it's gonna be a 60-point game?
I think it's gonna be high because they're going to start the first half. The second half, I think, will turn out to be more, but it's going to be a shootout.
Yeah.
What is the total point split?
I think it's 40. Was it 47 and a half?
Dude, you went over by almost like 15 points, bro.
I mean, they're in a dome, though, dude. It's the Raider Stadium, so I mean, The Niners can score in a hurry. I don't know if they're going to give up that much, but let the man predict the score, Mav.
Hey, yeah, man. Let me be great, man.
Come on
Yes.
now.
So, as it stands, as of 2 hours ago, the spread it went back down to 2, and the over under is 47.5. So I think it's going to go over that.
I'll go over that. Okay, I'll go over that.
Mav, how about you, man? Oh, I'm sorry, Drew. Who's the MVP?
I want the MVP to be Brock,
Oh, so do I.
but the MVP will be Christian.
Yeah. Mav, who's winning?
I mean, I got us by 3 points. I don't really want to give a score prediction. I just want to let this game play out. But I got us by 3. And that's the reason why I asked the question about Jake Moody, because I feel like it's going to come down to a field goal. And
you're making me nervous, man. These predictions are making me nervous.
Yeah, I'm going to turn my
I'm
computer
just saying. But I got
Ron, I'll make you feel better.
okay. So I'm gonna give you 3 possible MVPs.
No, one. You got to nail one. Pick one.
I mean, I'm gonna run with CMC. I'm gonna run with CMC.
Everybody on the team. Just pick one.
Huh?
Kyle
Just pick
Shanahan
one.
MVP.
No, I'm saying there you go. No, okay. So if I'm picking one, it's gonna be CMC. But
Okay.
two other options would have been between Purdy or Warner.
Okay. Mike, how about you? Who's winning score at MVP?
Niners, 28-17. We're going to get revenge by 11 points because that's what they beat us by last time.
Mm-hmm.
And MVP is CMC.
Awesome. I'm going to let
Mike is
Ron
picking
finish it
under.
out. So,
Ooh.
all right. So if I'm being very transparent with everybody, up until right before we started this show tonight, I talked to my dad all the time. We were talking about this game all the way up to this week. My dad's a season ticket holder for the Eagles for the last 30 years. So, but he always talks Niners with me. So we were talking about the game, and he asked me, he goes, Chris, what are you thinking? It's Thursday. He asked me this question every day because you never know where I'm going every freaking day with how I'm feeling about this game. But I said to him this morning, I said, look, as in my heart, the Niners are by far the better football team. And in my heart, I think the Niners are going to win. But I'm at the point with the Chiefs and Mahomes where I was after like Brady's 3rd or 4th Super Bowl, where it doesn't matter how bad they may have looked one week. It doesn't matter how bad they might look in that game. It's really hard to ever bet against greatness. And it's really hard for me to ever bet against a guy like Patrick Mahomes. Like he's, to me already, and I said this to you guys before, he's the greatest quarterback I've ever seen ever. He's the most talented quarterback in the history of football. He's on the doorstep of something that doesn't happen, which is 3 Super Bowls. It's hard for me to pick against Patrick Mahomes and against the Chiefs. It's really hard. But, going through today and talking this out, with other like-minded, 49er fans and football guys, I think I'm comfortable in saying that I think the Niners are going to win this game. And I think they're going to win this game 31-24, maybe anywhere between 31-21, 31-24. And I think Brock Purdy is the MVP. I wanted to go CMC, but that's such a quarterback heavy league. And if he throws like no interceptions and throws 2 touchdowns and completes like 70% of his passes, they're going to give him the MVP. So I'm going to go Brock Purdy. I think he gets his vindication. And I think he becomes the 3rd greatest quarterback in franchise history officially on Sunday. And I think that's where I'm at. I really, up until this morning, guys, it's hard for me to bet against Patrick Mahomes. It really is hard. I thought they had him in 2019 and it was just like, damn, he did it. I thought the Eagles had him last year. Damn, he did it again. And he finds ways to do it. I think it stops here. I think this Niners team, they're not a big destiny guy, but this is the most talented Niners team I've ever seen, from top to bottom. So I'm going Niners. Yeah, 31. I'm going to go 31-24, and Brock Purdy hoists up that sixth Lombardi Trophy as the MVP. Ron, you.
I think you took the words out of my mouth, man. I think that's how I see it playing out. I've played out McCaffrey, scoring 4 touchdowns, and we just run it down their throats. But realistically, when you really think about it, you can't count Mahomes' fight and his just pure greatness and magic.
Yeah.
And Kelsey's they're both yellow jacket guys. So I still have us winning for and you nailed my prediction. 31-24. I think we're still going to win by a touchdown. I think this is our year for sure. This is it.
Man, it's crazy just thinking about what could possibly happen on Sunday. Man, if they win that Super Bowl, I'm like, what the hell do I do with myself? Like, what is going on?
We have a reaction show if they win that Super Bowl.
Can I ask y'all a question?
Yes, of course.
Is it me, or am I the only one who wants to see Ward get an interception? Like, I promise you, I was just thinking, and I'm like, I would go crazy. He gets an interception.
I was just gonna say that, but I was gonna say Lenore. I see Lenore getting the pick in the Super Bowl.
I say that, but I just want that little revenge interception. On his own, just that one just pick off where it just is be so great.
One thing that I'm hoping for if we win this game is that I get the day off or maybe 2 days off with pay. Because, my boss and we're the only two 49er fans in there. And so I'm expecting him to take about a week off and fly out to Vegas or something. So I'm expecting a couple of days off with pay if he does that. So
why you gotta be lying to your boss and tell him you're a Niner fan?
You say what?
I gotta be lying to your boss and tell him you're a Niner fan.
Oh man!
Wow. How dare you?
Hey, you know what? There's a reason why I love Mike, man, because he's not gonna let this down until we all dead and gone. He's gonna keep it going. I like that.
Dude, this is my favorite rivalry in podcasting is Mike and Matt. It's like it's
he's an undercover Raiders. It's okay, Chris, because he's an undercover Raiders fan. He just don't want to tell you that. That's all it is. He's over there cheering. He was over there cheering for Jimmy G.
Definitely ain't no Raider fan. All right.
If he's a Raider fan, he's the only one that I know.
Hold on. Speaking of Raiders fan, Mike, what did your pop say about this Super Bowl, man?
He's actually he picked the Niners. He picked the Lions over us, and then after we won that game, he called me. He said Niners are going to win the Super Bowl.
I believe a lot of Raiders fans are picking the Niners to win. They just can't stand the Chiefs.
Well, they can't stand us either. So a lot of them
listen. I told y'all my
yeah, but they rather unite with us.
Hey, the Cardinal fans are jumping on a bandwagon over here, and it's making me mad.
Fuck that.
Get the fuck off the bandwagon, bro. I'm no lie. Hey, look, and it started, dude. It started when I went to the game. I was like, wait, where are these Niner fans coming from? I come every year, and I'm like, these look like ex-Cardinal fans. Like, that's what Cardinal fans are known for.
Yeah.
They were all at one point old Niners, Steelers, Cowboys, Raiders fans who just went to the Cardinals in 2008, and now they stink again, and they're going to try to jump back on. So I'm like, nah, no way, not here, dude. But
all right, so real quick, fellas, after the Super Bowl, are we taking a week off, or are we jumping right back on, start talking off-season football all around the league, or what? What are we doing?
Show on Sunday.
We're going reaction show on Sunday after we win, and then we can touch base then.
Yeah, I'll tell you what.
Next week's show is the hot take show on who was right and who was wrong with their hot takes. It's going to be the receipt show.
Hey, we got it. We definitely got to do a reaction show. I just want to see Chris on here with the tears.
Dude, I'm gonna be weeping on this microphone. I'm gonna have to put like a little tinfoil here, like to just block it all because it's gonna be bad. Like like my wife is already preparing for like the whole thing that she'll say to me is, "You didn't even cry at our wedding, and you're gonna cry that the Niners won the Super Bowl." I'm
Chris
like,
is gonna take his 8 showers. He's gonna take his 8 showers. He's gonna.
I did cry at my wedding, so it's gonna be okay if I cry at this win. So it's all good.
I tried telling her like, you have no idea the stress that I had at the wedding to make sure everything went right, so I couldn't even focus on crying. This is just it's sports. This is what we this is what we live for. So yeah, I'm super excited. Yeah, we will be definitely doing a reaction show. I guess maybe like about we could do like an hour after the game because I'm sure all of us are going to want to sit at home and watch all the post game stuff. So, but yeah, you guys will most likely, obviously, hopefully hear from us on Sunday night. Until then, enjoy the Super Bowl. Enjoy, if you're a 49ers fan, just enjoy being in this moment. And because again, it's been a while since we've been back. It's been 5 years. You just never know when we get these opportunities. It's That's special. Right. It's a long ride, man. It's a grueling ride to get to where we are right now. But let's enjoy this, faithful, and I can't wait to see the crowd on Sunday, and it's going to probably be like 80% Niners, and I can't wait for the entire day. So with that, Ron, Mav, Drew, Mike, thank you guys so much. It's gonna be a wild ride all the way through Sunday, and I really hope that we're gonna be coming on here just all giving big virtual hugs about being world champions. So with that, I'm Chris Francesco. This has been the Niners Lounge Super Bowl preview, and we'll catch you guys here down the road. Have a great one, and go Niners. Let's do it for the Bay, baby.
Bang, bang, Niner.
Super Bowl.